For all the aspiring civil servants, this is the IAS syllabus for you. Welcome everyone. Today we will look at UPSC Civil Services exam syllabus. Let's directly jump into it. So like when we've discussed about the pattern, we talked about what is the pattern of preliminary exam. Right now you can see there are two papers of 200 marks each, right? So this is the pattern for you. So paper 1 general studies and paper 2 CSAT paper. So what is the syllabus for paper 1 general studies? And this paper is what the final marks is calculated, whereas paper 2 is the qualifying paper or qualifying in nature. Let's jump into it and let's see what is the syllabus for preliminary exam GS paper 1. So this exam tests the general awareness of a candidate in various domains such as history, polity, economy, geography, environment, science and tech, international relations, and current events. So the following are point-wise syllabus. Current events of national and international importance. It's a very wide area because anything under the sun basically can be asked under this. Now you might be thinking it's so huge, how we can prepare for it. Current events of national and international importance. If we can keep a close tab of newspapers, we'll be able to do it. History of India and Indian national movement 2. Indian and world geography, physical, social, economic, geography of India and the world. Here, nowadays, a lot of location-based geography questions are also being asked. Indian polity and governance, which is constitution, political system, panchayati raj, public policy, rights issues, etc. Economic and social development, sustainable development, poverty, inclusion, demographics, social sector initiatives, etc. General issues on environmental ecology, biodiversity, and climate change that do not require subject specialization. Please see this, that it says that it does not require subject specialization. That means mostly, or what is the general issues or the current related issues in these areas will usually be asked. And general science. Here, general science still nowadays has become a lot of science and tech related questions, especially the modern research and innovation. Okay, so this is the syllabus for preliminary exam GS1. The next we will go into is the preliminary exam CSET paper 2, which is qualifying in nature. So what is it? It constitutes comprehension. A bulk of questions are asked in comprehension, interpersonal skills, including communicational skills, logical reasoning and analytical ability, decision-making and problem-solving, general mental ability, basic numeracy, which includes numbers and their relations, orders of magnitude, etc., class 10 level, and data interpretation. If I classify, basic numeracy is really increasing day by day, means quantitative aptitude. Then comprehension is second, and third is data interpretation and logical reasoning. So this is what is the syllabus for CSET paper 2, which is qualifying in nature. Then we come to the mains exam syllabus. As we've already discussed in the pattern video, that there are total 9 papers in the UPSC mains exam. Paper A and paper B are qualifying in nature, where you need to score 25% marks to qualify. Hence, we will not look into the syllabus of paper A and B. Paper 1, for which the marks is calculated, is essay. But I won't go into the syllabus because there is no such syllabus for essay, right? Mainly here we need to talk about paper 2, 3, 4, and 5, which is general studies 1, 2, 3, and 4, for which I'll go into detailed syllabus of each of them. Paper 6 and 7, since there are 48 optional subjects, I cannot go into the syllabus of each. But what I'll do is that you should personally at your own level identify the subject and go into the syllabus of your own. Hence, I'll just concentrate on GS 1, 2, 3, and 4 syllabus for mains. First, mains exam GS paper 1. Now, as we've already seen in the this slide, that it is Indian heritage, culture, history, and geography. So with respect to Indian heritage and culture, these are the following points. Art and culture, Indian culture will cover the salient aspects of art forms, literature, and architecture from ancient to modern times. Whereas the next topic is modern history. Modern Indian history from about the middle of 18th century until the present. Significant events, personalities, issues. Then the freedom struggle, its various stages, and important contributors or contributions from different parts of the country. Then comes the topic post-independence, that is from 1947 onwards. Post-independence consolidation and reorganization within the country is the third topic. Fourth is the world history. History of the world will include events from 18th century. From 18th century, such as Industrial Revolution, World Wars, redrawal of national boundaries, and colonization, decolonization, political philosophies like communists, capitalism, socialism, etc., their forms and effect on society. Okay, so this is what we will look into, which is the syllabus for mains exam GS paper 1, Indian heritage and history part. Now the next part is the Indian society and geography. So in Indian society, salient features of Indian society, diversity of India, role of women and women organizations, population and associated issues, poverty and developmental issues, urbanization, their problems and their remedies, effects of globalization on Indian society, social empowerment, communalism, regionalism, and secularism. In physical geography, salient features of world physical geography, and there is topic of human and economic geography, which talks about distribution of key natural resources across the world. Right. Then there is geophysical phenomena, fourth point, which talks about important geophysical phenomena such as earthquakes, tsunami, volcanic activity, cyclone, etc. Geographical features and their location changes in critical geographical features and in flora and fauna and the effects of such changes. Basically, the fourth point is more of applied part of geography, which also constitutes significant chunk of environmental and climate change, pollution related challenges, right? Now, this is entirely the syllabus of GS1 for a mains exam. Okay. Now we will jump into the GS paper 2. In GS paper 2, it deals with constitution, governance, social justice, and international relations. So in Indian polity and constitution, topics are Indian constitution, historical underpinnings, evolution, features, amendments, significant provisions, and basic structure. 1. Functions and responsibilities of union and the states, issues and challenges pertaining to the federal structure, devolution of powers, and finances up to local levels and challenges therein. Third topic, separation of powers between various organs, dispute redressal mechanisms, and institutions. Then there is topic comparison of the Indian constitution scheme with that of other countries. Then parliament and state legislature, their structure, functioning, conduct of business, powers and privileges, and issues arising out of these. Then there is structure, organization, and functioning of the executive and the judiciary, ministries and departments of the government, pressure groups, and formal and informal associations and their role in the Indian polity. Then there is salient features of the Representation of People Act. Both. So it's 1950 and 51, both. Okay. Appointment to various constitutional posts, powers, functions, and responsibilities of various constitutional bodies. Then there is statutory, regulatory, and various quasi-judicial bodies. Okay. The second part of this paper talks about governance, social justice, international relations. This is the continued of GS paper 2 syllabus. In governance, we have government policies and interventions for their development in various sectors and issues arising out of their design and implementation. Development processes and the development industry, the role of NGOs, SHGs, various groups and associations, donors, charities, institutions, and other stakeholders. Then there is important aspects of governance, transparency and accountability, e-governance applications, models, successes, limitations, and potential, citizen charter, transparency and accountability, and institutional and other measures. There's a topic, role of civil services in the democracy. Then we come to the social justice part of the syllabus. Welfare schemes for vulnerable section of the population by the center and states, and the performance of these schemes. Then there is mechanisms, laws, institutions, and bodies constituted for the protection and betterment of these vulnerable sections. Then there is topic, issues related to development and management of social sector services relating to health, education, and human resources. Issues relating to poverty and hunger. Then there is a very important topic, international relations, India and its neighborhood relations, bilateral, regional, and global groupings and agreements involving India and or affecting India's interests. Then there is effect of policies and politics of developed and developing countries on India's interest and Indian diaspora. Then there is important international institutions, agencies, and fora, their structure and mandate. So this was the entire syllabus of GS paper 2 for mains. In general studies, paper 3, this is the following syllabus. Economic development. Indian economy and issues relating to planning, mobilization and mobilization of resources, growth, development, and employment, inclusive growth and issues arising from it, government budgeting, major crops, cropping patterns in various parts of the country, different types of irrigation and irrigation system storage, transport and marketing of agricultural produce, and issues and related constraints. Okay. E-technology in the aid of farmers. Then issues related to direct and indirect farm subsidies and minimum support prices. Public distribution system, its objectives, functioning, limitations, and revamping. Issues of buffer stocks and food security, technology missions, economics of animal rearing. Then there is topic of food processing and related industries in India, its scope and significance, location, upstream and downstream requirements, supply chain management. Land reforms in India, effects of liberalization on the economy, changes in industrial policy and their effects on industrial growth. Infrastructure, be it in, energy, ports, roads, airports, railways, etc. And investment models. So this is basically the syllabus related with economic development for GS paper 3. Now, GS paper 3, we have topics science and tech, environment and biodiversity, disaster management, and security issues. Let's go into its detailed syllabus. In science and tech, developments and their applications and effects in everyday life, achievements of Indians in science and technology, indigenization of technology and developing new technology, awareness in the fields of IT, space, computers, robotics, nanotechnology, biotechnology, and issues related to intellectual property rights. Okay, so then we have environment and biodiversity, which is conservation, environmental pollution and degradation, environmental impact assessment. Disaster management. Disaster management is disaster management, disaster and its management. Security issues. Linkages between development and spread of extremism. Role of external state and non-state actors in creating challenges to internal security. Challenges to internal security through communication networks. Role of media and social networking sites in internal security challenges. Basics of cybersecurity. Money laundering and its prevention. Then there is security challenges and their management in border areas. Linkages of organized crime with terrorism. Various security forces and agencies and their mandate. Okay, so this was the entirely syllabus of General Studies paper 3. The next is General Studies paper 4. This is the ethics paper, which also includes case studies. So what is the syllabus for the same? Ethics in human interface, essence, determinants and consequences of ethics in human actions, dimensions of ethics, ethics in private and public relationships, human values, lessons from the lives and teachings of great leaders, reformers, and administrators, role of family, society, and educational institutions in inculcating values, attitude, content, structure, function, its influence and relation with thought and behavior, moral and political attitudes, social influence and persuasion. Then there is aptitude and foundational values for civil service, integrity, impartiality, and non-partisanship, objectivity, dedication to public service, empathy, tolerance, and compassion towards the weaker sections. Emotional intelligence, concepts and their utilities, and application in administration and governance. Contributions of moral thinkers and philosophers from India and world. Public civil service values and ethics in public administration. Status and problems, ethical concerns and dilemmas in government and private institutions, laws, rules, regulations, and conscience as sources of ethical guidance, accountability and ethical governance, strengthening of ethical and moral values in governance, ethical issues in international relations, and funding corporate governance. Probity in governance. Another issue, you can just go through the topics here. And the final is the case studies on all the above listed issues. Okay. So this was about GS paper 4. So main syllabus for optional subject, there are, as I told you, 48 optional subjects covering wide horizon of subjects, including literature, arts, science, agriculture. Candidates have to just select one optional subject from the UPSC syllabus, and there will be 2 papers for 500 marks from that one optional, right?